The state of Indiana passed a bill that makes it easier for the Bears to build a new dome stadium in northwest Indiana, about 20 minutes south of Soldier Field. The team has also been seeking legislation to help build the stadium in Illinois. Their current lease expires in 2033. You're going to get a lot out of this one. For much more, Tony and Michael Wilbon, PTI's bonus topic.
All right, Wilbon, what is your reaction to the Bears potentially moving to Indiana?
Tony, this is a topic that while you and I don't discuss on our show all the time, is discussed in Chicago all the time, every show, every household. I have scoffed at it from the time it was talked about. Not that Indiana wasn't serious, because I am told by a source that's unimpeachable. Indiana's quite serious and has been serious all along in terms of luring the Bears. And now it appears from the news that is out there today that they could be lured to a place called Hammond, Indiana. See that skyline back there, that beautiful skyline, which some of us think is the best skyline in America? Hammond, Indiana doesn't have that. But Hammond, Indiana, to be fair, is only 12 miles from the backyard of the house I grew up in. It's not foreign to those of us in Chicago. The Bears should not move to Indiana and will not move to Indiana because at some point, common sense is going to prevail. And that place behind me, which is a destination for millions and millions of people for 100+ years, is going to remain the home of the Chicago Bears. I'm not going to get into the votes. I'm not going to scream any louder than I am now. The Bears are not moving to Indiana.
It's fabulous. You sound like you're on the Chamber of Commerce in Chicago. Look, I don't have a dog in this race. I don't. But I watched the Jets and the Giants move to New Jersey.
Yeah.
And it really didn't have a tremendous effect. I mean, in my mind, I still think of them as the New York Giants and the New York Jets. And I don't think the Bears are going to be named the Indiana Bears. Maybe they would be. I don't know. But it wasn't a tragedy for people who lived in the New York area. It wasn't, and it hasn't been, and they still have a lot of people rooting for them. I'm sure the Bears would still have a lot of people rooting for them. I think you take it more personally when it's, when it's your team and you're involved in it the way you are. But you've been telling me for months, this thing is dead, it's not going to happen. And so I assume you're still, I just heard you say it again, that it's not going to happen, right?
I didn't say it's dead. I said it's not going to happen. Tony, there's a difference. They're not multiple places in the city, in New York that I know of, in Manhattan particularly, where you can just plop down a new stadium. There's a place in Chicago because it already exists there. There's no need to move it. They just got politicians, and yes, there's money involved. Always follow the money. They're all the same reasons that delay these things in every city. How's it going when the Redskins moved from Washington, D.C. out to Landover, Maryland? How'd that work out 30 years later?
It's coming back. They're coming back because it didn't work out very well at all. They're coming back.
It didn't work out. And so the Bears need to figure out how to build a stadium right next to the one that is beautiful and iconic and that has hosted so many games since 1974 and Red Grange going back decades before that. And to put it in Hammond I'm never going to go there. I'll go to Soldier Field for the last 4 years they use it. If that was to happen, I would never put my fat behind in a seat in Hammond. We clear on that? You can ask me from now until the cows leave Hammond and come to the South Side, and I'm never going there.
Yeah, they'll give you a suite, not just a seat, but a suite. Let's see then.
That's it. We're done. Back to you.
The fat behind in Hammond and the cows leaving Hammond, that was a very interesting visual. Joined now by our Bears reporter, Courtney Cronin. So, Courtney, what does today's bill mean for both the Bears and the state of Indiana?
It's a significant step, and it's big news because for the Chicago Bears, they have tried to get a stadium built in the state of Illinois for several years now. They own that property in Arlington Heights, 326 acres, but because of all the things I won't bore you about, property tax certainty and things that mean a lot to a franchise that wants to invest $2 billion of its own money, but needs public infrastructure money to be able to finance this whole thing. Being able to have Indiana significantly advancing these conversations is a big step. But there's two things here. The statement from Indiana Governor Mike Braun makes it seem like this is a certainty, that it is a mutual partnership between the Bears and the state of Indiana. He said that Indiana is open for business. The Bears said basically slow your roll.